Hey everybody, thanks for coming to watch. I've got an update for you guys on this massive tornado outbreak that we have unfolding across the south central US today. I'm speechless of just I've just run through all the models and I've just looked at kind of what we're going to be dealing with tonight, and it is not looking good, especially for northern Mississippi. I see discrete supercell storms that are looking tornadic, and we're already seeing that kind of behavior with these storms as we get into these evening hours and overnight hours of tonight. It is really not looking it's really looking ugly out there right now. Um, but this is one of those outbreaks that I'm really concerned about, and it's just crazy because I know in my last update I was talking about this severe weather outbreak that was unfolding across the Mid Atlantic. Well, now we've got another one heading straight for the Tennessee Valley. So we have a very intense line of storms that we're gonna have to talk about today. And that severe threat is going to continue, where it's going to continue building up as we get into uh later days of this week. So it's very scary to see this much activity with the severe weather, which is kind of unusual because it's just kind of been like every ever since we saw that dome start flattening out, the heat dome. That pattern has unleashed a massive amounts of rain and severe weather to sweep through this region of the mid U.S. The kind of just the It's just sweeping through the center of the U.S. So it starts out, we get a storm system that builds up out here in the northwest, somewhere around here, and then it just sweeps through this area and then goes up here like that. That's kind of the track that we've seen. So it's another one of those storms where we get a lot of activity right around this area, and then sometimes we'll get a secondary threat with that up here, depending on how strong it is and kind of the ingredients. But today, the dynamics are lining up for something really bad and ugly to happen across the Tennessee Valley. And let me tell you, I'm nervous myself. But we already got it. We already have it ongoing out here across the Midwest. You've got kind of two areas of the storm that we are concerned about. We've got one up here that's streaking its way across Indiana, and then the main one down here. These are these developing tornadic thunderstorms that we're worried about. These are the ones that have been moving across northeastern Oklahoma and southwestern Missouri. Those are going to be developing even furthermore, and we even see some more developing out here in southern Oklahoma. These are going to be the ones that are going to be plowing through that area of northern and central Arkansas and into Tennessee and northern Mississippi. I think that some areas that have been hit hard by severe weather in the past this year are going to get hit hard pretty bad once again. So we'll have to really continue to watch this, and so we're going to move on to our alerts just to get this update going. But you could see that we've got a tornado watch already up for many areas across the extreme eastern area of uh, eastern Oklahoma. This also goes into parts of southwestern Missouri and also parts of northwestern Arkansas. So that is probably going to be just our first. That's probably just going to be our first tornado watch of the day. I think we're going to get another one out in the same region, except it's going to be off to the east. So it's going to look somewhat like that. I think it's going to be a lot bigger. I think it's going to include some areas of western Tennessee. I think it's going to include a lot of Arkansas and then a lot of northern Mississippi and maybe even parts of northern Louisiana. But for now, this is what it looks like. We've got also two areas or three areas that are under severe thunderstorm watches. We've got one area under a severe thunderstorm watch that's up here in northern Alabama, stretches into parts of extreme western Georgia and then also parts of northeastern Mississippi. That's going to be our first initial storms of the day that could potentially be severe. We do already have severe thunderstorm warnings in this area of northern and mid Alabama. So there's the chances there. The chances are there for you guys to see some of that storm action too, as we also do have severe weather statements for some of these surrounding areas. So strong severe storms are already ongoing and possible for the rest of the night in this area. Then you obviously got that main central area up here in Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas that's under that tornado watch. You've got some scattered severe thunderstorm warnings out here in southern Missouri, and then also a few flood warnings out here. As looks like we not only have that very large severe weather threat, but we also do have pretty big flooding threat out there as well. And then another severe thunderstorm watch just out for parts of northeastern Texas and southern Oklahoma. I think this includes the DFW area. I'm pretty sure. Um, but yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. You also got that excessive heat warning for eastern Texas. All of Louisiana, again, is under that excessive heat warning. Parts of southern Arkansas, and then also parts of western Mississippi. And then you can see up and down the eastern coast of Florida, down the panhandle of Florida, you can see that there is an excessive heat warning for you guys. Although there is this red here, this maroon kind of color, this is an excessive heat watch, so it's not as hot. It's basically what that tells you is that uh, there's enough heat in the area to make it, actually like so hot that it's dangerous heat. That's basically what that is. And they got flood watches for parts of southern Missouri, and then kind of for this region out here, that same flood watch is for you guys. And then this little line of flood watches that stretches all the way from western Illinois all the way into West Virginia. That's going to be pretty much it for your alerts after that. But we're going to be moving on to our NAM 3KM model for the Ohio Valley, and we're just going to be kind of looking at a broad overview of the storm, and we're going to take a close, very close look at how exactly dangerous these storms are going to be. Just first off, looking at the NAM 3K model with this composite reflectivity out here, but you can see that we're already getting, this is pretty much where we are right now. You're getting into Wednesday. This is hours 8 to 9. So right now it's 9:06 Eastern time. So this is pretty much exactly where we are right now. You got your two areas of the storms. This main area up here that's bubbling up in the Boot Heel, Missouri. It's raining cats and dogs out there. And then also parts of western Tennessee. That's our first uh, initial storm threat of the day. The rest of the storms off to the southeast are pretty much going to be over as of right now. So those severe thunderstorm warnings are still ongoing. I think those are going to expire in just a few minutes, and then you're going to see that a lot of that action slowing down. Got more storm action up here, more convection in the atmosphere up here in parts of the Midwest. You could see parts of Illinois and parts of Iowa still dealing with some storm action, and then that could even go into places near St. Louis. You could see you guys in this area of Missouri could definitely see a storm or two tonight. Some more supercells building off parts of southeastern Indiana. These are very, very independent. You can see that they have a good space away from these two main storm couplets of storms, but these are, I think these could definitely be one of the storms that are going to be tornado producers. You have curviness on them. These look like they're rotating. They've got a pretty good amount of room to rotate, and they're pretty discrete, meaning that they're relatively spaced out. Some of them are a little bit connected. Those are going to be the weaker ones. I think these guys up here, these three little dots up here, these are tornadic supercells. I think these could definitely be tornado producers, and then maybe even storms all the way up into parts of western Ohio and eastern Indiana could be tornado producers. It's definitely possible. But, we'll continue throughout the night. Let me just get rid of this for you guys. We continue throughout the night. We get to 9 p.m. This is 10 p.m. So this is pretty much 10, 11 p.m. tonight. And we really see a lot. We see more supercells popping off here across parts of Ohio. I think you guys and I really think Southern Indiana could have a big shot at seeing a tornado or two out here sometime tonight. I think really anytime because we go all the way back to where we are now. We still got those developing supercells, and they are discrete as of right now. And we continue, and they're still discrete. They get a little bit closer to the main area of the storm, but they're still independent, and they still haven't formed any damaging wind gust line. We just get all the way through the night, and it's still ongoing. And we check back here down into Mississippi, and this is where I think the main action is going to be. It's only looking like there's just going to be 1 hour where we're going to have complete chaos. These storms down here, I think these are going to be tornado producers. But this is, the NAM is having a little bit of trouble picking this up. Um, but it's almost looking like it's like just going to happen. It's like in a few hours, we're going to start. I think this is a little confusing, guys. I'm gonna have a little bit trouble getting this one down for you guys. But I apologize about that. But I'm kind of the name is kind of throwing my mind around a little bit with these. Because for usually you'll have with one of these kind of storms, you'll have the storm develop off to the west out here in places like eastern Oklahoma and parts of eastern Kansas, and then it dips down, rides the jet stream, and then kind of it turns to that tornadic phase once it gets to this little area right here in western Kentucky and parts of Tennessee. And so the NAM wants this tornado threat to really ramp up for only a few hours and as late as far mostly as possible. So we're finally, we're getting into pretty much the middle of the night. So it's going to be 10, 11, 12 p.m. tonight. And then here you go. You start seeing these storms and they look bad. You could tell that they're very, very independent. They're discrete storms and they're spaced out. And they've definitely got curviness on them. I think these are going to be tornadic for sure. These are going to be those storms that are going to be producing tornadoes. And it's looking possible that maybe one of them could be producing a long track and deadly tornado. I don't want to say it, but it's definitely possible that we're going to have to deal with that story tonight somewhere in this region. I think we're going to see a long track tornado. I think that's definitely possible. But we continue throughout the night, and that tornado threat's still ongoing. It's quieted down a little bit. But these are still some more, weaker supercells out there that could be rotating. That could have some rotation on them. Weak rotation is possible. But this is pretty much we're getting into those early morning hours of tomorrow, and we get some more storms off to the west that could start building up, and they quickly align and form this damaging wind gust line. So it's very, very strange here and odd to see, right after a very, very high tornado threat, we all of a sudden get this massive line of damaging wind gusts, and this looks bad to me. This also does you got bumps and bruises in this line here, and it's very, very sharp. Look at the cutoff right here. When you see something like this is interesting because you have such a sharp cutoff here. We could zoom in. I don't know if we can though, actually, but if we zoomed in, you would see that it's completely dry right in this one county here in western Tennessee, and then right just north of it, maybe even in the same county, it's raining cats and dogs, and it's very, very windy. That's what a damaging wind gust line produces. It's the calm before the storm. You get all the clouds start building and building and building and then it's just silent, and it's not even that windy. It's not raining yet, but the clouds are extremely dark, and then boom, like a minute later, it starts getting really, really windy, and it starts raining a lot. That's going to be the story throughout Tennessee and Mississippi and Alabama. We could see this line sweeps through the entire area, doing damage, and I mean, I think that we're not only going to see a high tornado threat, we're going to see a very, very high wind threat. And at this point, I'm kind of unclear why we don't have a moderate risk up on the SPC right now. I really think that this storm does deserve a moderate risk just because of what I've seen based on the NAM just now. I'm kind of speechless at this point. I don't know. It really does not look good to me, especially for the four states of Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and Arkansas. I think that those four states are going to get hit really bad and hard tonight. And then behind it, we may get a secondary tornado threat after that damaging wind gust line kind of, you know, it breaks apart and dies down and eventually fizzles out. You get another line on this, on the backside of the storm, and it could definitely produce some spinning thunderstorms, maybe a tornado or two. Could be somewhere out here in this region of now eastern Tennessee, parts of West Virginia, Kentucky, and then parts of maybe even North Carolina, as far east as places like Charlotte or just any cities out here that are a little bit closer to Tennessee. But then we finally have this carry out. Maybe another weak, very weak line of damaging wind gusts could develop and sweep right, and not even sweep. It could just go plummet right down south into parts of southern Mississippi and Alabama. That's definitely possible before this storm rolls out. But man, it's going to be bad, and it's going to be bad for a long time. It could be, it could. I think that it's possible that we could even see a multi-day severe weather outbreak. I think it's possible because we're already in Thursday. This would be 9 a.m. Thursday. This is 9 a.m. Thursday, and it's still raining and winding like cats and dogs out here. It's gonna carry on all the way until we're getting to 5 o'clock tomorrow. We're getting to the evening hours of tomorrow, and you still got that storm action both off to the east and off to the south. So it's probably gonna look like a 2 day severe weather outbreak. To me, this is what it's gonna be looking like. But we're gonna be moving on to our SPC outlook for now. This is our day one categorical outlook. We got an enhanced risk. This is up for parts of northern Arkansas, parts of western Tennessee, and then parts of northern Mississippi and Alabama. This is a pretty big area, and you can see that population total is very, very high, of over 6.5 million people. You got Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Huntsville, Alabama, Clarksville, Tennessee, and Murfreesboro, or Murfreesboro, I think. I don't know how to pronounce that, in Tennessee. Those are your cities in the enhanced risk for now. You also got Jackson, Tennessee, included in that enhanced risk. But I really think that some major cities are going to get hit very, very hard tonight by both tornadic storms that could produce damaging wind gusts, and storms that also could produce flash flooding. And we look at that slight risk. It's just these surrounding areas that are still going to get hit fairly hard by some severe weather. I think there's going to be multiple. There's no doubt in my mind that there's going to be multiple areas that are going to, they're going to get hit hard by severe category thunderstorms, and I think it's just pretty much guaranteed for some areas out here in central southern Arkansas, parts of northern Mississippi and Alabama. I think you guys could definitely see a severe storm or two, even if you're in that slight risk. And then that marginal risk for the outside areas, that's not for the areas that aren't going to get hit. That like the areas that aren't going to get hit, it's just the areas that probably won't get hit as hard. That's kind of going to be the deal for tonight. And then we go to that wind threat for today. This is also something that's concerning. You got a 30% risk for damaging wind gusts with a hatch risk. So when you see that hatch risk means that there is a significant chance for severe weather, which would be that damaging wind threat right in this area. This is pretty much that same area of that enhanced risk. But watch as this this hatch risk, it gets shifted a little bit farther to the west. So that tells you that that damaging wind gust line is probably going to form somewhere around here, and it's going to just push off to the southeast. That's pretty much what we're going to be seeing today. So uh, after that tornado threat sweeps through, you've got the two boundaries of severe weather. This is your tornado threat, goes off to the east. That is probably going to die down once it passes this line. Then here comes your secondary threat, your damaging wind gust threat, and that damaging wind gust line is going to push through. So we're going to number this. Tornado threat is going to be first. That is ongoing. This is what's happening right now. That tornado threat. Okay. After the tornado threat rolls out, you get that damaging wind gust line to form very, very rapidly right after that tornado threat finally dies down. That's going to be uh, storm number two. That's pretty much the setup of what we're going to be having and dealing with tonight into very early tomorrow morning. Um, but for that 30% risk, it's that same area of the enhanced risk for parts of northern Arkansas, parts of western Tennessee, parts of northern Mississippi, Alabama. You've got Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Huntsville, Alabama, Clarksville, Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. All of you guys are going to be in that 30% risk for damaging wind gusts. And for that 15% risk, that's the surrounding areas. Even for that slight risk, for the 15% risk of damaging wind gusts, I think someone out here is going to get a wind gust that could get over 60 miles an hour. I think it's definitely possible somewhere around Little Rock, Birmingham, Alabama, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Fort Smith, Arkansas, or Roswell, Georgia. That's going to be pretty much the kind of story, and those are going to be the places that are going to get hit fairly hard tonight because of these damaging wind gusts. Okay, and then you got a 5% risk for that spreads out pretty far, all the way down from the Abilene, Texas area, so central Texas, all the way up into surging up into parts of southern Indiana, Illinois, and then maybe even as far east as northern Kentucky. This could include Louisville, but I don't think you guys are gonna get hit pretty hard. I think there's a chance that Louisville could get hit. I mean, you guys are in a marginal risk for severe weather, but it's looking pretty likely that you guys are just gonna get a little bit wet from those downpours. But I don't think that you're gonna have any you know uh, really damaging storms or severe storms out there. Okay, for that hail threat, 15% risk with the hatched risk. So that's another pretty high threat that we're seeing for wind damaging winds, tornadoes, or hail. And you can see it is hatched. It's pretty that hatch risk is pretty big. It's almost for the entire 15% risk. Um, and for that 15% risk, you've got Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Birmingham, Alabama, and Little Rock, Arkansas. Um, and so that's going to be pretty much the general area for the highest level of concern for those large hailstones. And then for that significant severe threat, you've got the hatched risk. You've got Memphis, Tennessee, Huntsville, Alabama, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, and Jackson, Tennessee. All of you guys are going to be in that hatch risk. So the hatch risks means that the forecasters at the Storm Prediction Center have a lot more faith in that area for seeing the most intense amount of large hail, and yeah, in this case it would be a large hail. And then finally, for that tornado threat, this actually just got updated. So this has actually just got updated like literally a few minutes ago. So the tornado threat has got smaller. It's not that the tornado threat has gone down, it's just that the area has gotten smaller, which is a good sign for many places, but it's a bad sign for less places. It's kind of there's still places that have that there's a bad sign for tornadoes for, but some places can have a little bit of room to breathe here. So you're up to a 10% risk for tornadoes with a hatched risk. Okay, the last time we saw this was probably back into 2020, 2021 maybe. I don't know. We might think we saw this actually in the severe weather outbreak of March 31st. I think that when we saw that out here across the northern plains, I think where we saw the Jericho, I think that's the last time we saw it hatch 10% risk for tornadoes. But when you see this, that you gotta turn on outbreak mode. This is really really dangerous. This is not good. I'm telling you, when you see a 10% risk with the hatch risk for tornadoes out here, that's not good. I know you'd probably think if you're new to the channel and you kind of just you don't really know much about how the storm prediction center functions. I mean, usually when you think there's a high risk for tornadoes, it'd be around 60 to 80%. Okay, that's I'm telling you guys the problem. These are the percentages you see here are the probabilities of a tornado within 25 miles of a point. So you already have a 10% chance of seeing a tornado somewhere in this area within 25 miles of a point in this area. So that's what that means. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean that there's a low chance of seeing tornado. The chance for tornadoes is already there, but specifically in that one area, there is already a 10% chance of seeing a tornado. Okay? And so if we were up to a 60% chance for tornadoes, that would mean that a tornado is, 60 to 80% chance for tornadoes means that a tornado is almost guaranteed. That's basically what that means. But for now, we have the 10% risk. You got a very low population, which is good. You've got under 1 million people. You got 776,000 people. You got Jonesboro, Arkansas, Roosevelt, Arkansas, Paragould, Arkansas, Searcy, Arkansas, and Blytheville, Arkansas. I don't think I'm pronouncing those cities right or towns right. Um, don't mind me. I'm just I'm trying my best out here, but yeah, so those are going to be the towns and cities in the way of this. If you know any family members, friends, or just anybody out there that lives in one of those towns or cities, please make sure that just give them a call or even just shoot them a text. Making sure that they are prepared for this because I know it's down south they've been through one of these storms many times, but this one in particular looks kind of really bad according to me and other forecasters. But that 5% risk for tornadoes, that's the surrounding areas. You got Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Huntsville, Alabama, Clarksville, Tennessee, and Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Uh, those are going to be the areas in that 5% risk, and then that 2% risk kind of stretches from west to east. You got Tulsa, Oklahoma, right on the side of this, so a little bit of eastern Oklahoma is in the way of that, and then you go all the way over to parts of extreme southeastern North Carolina and South Carolina. So that's going to be it for your SPC. And we're just going to be looking at for the last few parts of the update the tornado perimeter para parameters. Excuse me. And this map is just gonna tell you kind of where exactly if we could get a guess on where a tornado would be, then we could kind of tell it based on this map. So when you see a higher number up here on this map, when I put my mouse over this like purple area or red area, and you see a higher number, well, that means that there's a higher chance of seeing a tornado in that area that my mouse is over. That's what we're going to be looking at with this map. So, starting off where we are right now, it's looking like the worst of the tornadic storms are going to be so far off to the west. You can see out here in eastern Oklahoma, you got almost, you got four units of this significant tornado um, per, para, parameter out here for parts of eastern Oklahoma. So that's considered pretty high. I mean, I would really think a moderate zone. I'll give you guys two zones. I'll give you you got a green zone out here, which is pretty much good. This is anywhere from 0 to 2. And then you've got that moderate zone out here, which is going to be pretty much anywhere from 2.5 all the way up to 4.5. And then that high zone, this is not the zone that we're going to be seeing tonight, probably, is anywhere from 4.5 to 8.5 and above. That, if you see 8.5, that's kind of in no man's land. But still, I mean, you could still get close to that, and that would give you a hint that a tornado is pretty possible for that area. But as of now, you can see that we're up to a 4 out here, just above 4, which would be in our moderate zone for an area of extreme eastern Oklahoma, and then also this goes into parts of extreme uh, western Arkansas, and then for that, so for pretty much just general area, you've got this little area in red. This is around 3.5 to 4 units of our significant tornado um, parameter. And then you can see for those surrounding areas, you can see that you're in the twos out here, and then some of you guys will get back down in the ones. So that's we want to stay as low as we can. That's just gonna that's just pretty much gonna be the obvious for tonight. It's just that we don't want the tornado threat to be very very high. Um, Excuse me, but we do see another area up here in northern Mississippi that's going to be up to over 4 units of our significant tornado parameter. And you can see that you already get to 4.1, 4.2. That's going to be pretty high up on our scale. That's going to be almost in our extreme risk. That's going to be pretty much somewhere out here. That's going to be considered. I would say that's considered pretty high. For this uh, parameter. But we'll go all the way out until tonight. And I already looked ahead on this map just to kind of pause and take a look at what we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of the night. But this is probably going to be the most active hour for tornadoes, which is going to be in just a few hours. What did I do? 2 clicks. So I would say 10-11 p.m. is when we could get this going. Look, right now it's 9:31 right now, and so this is going. You still have you still have like an hour or so to prepare for this. But this is going to be the hour where that tornado threat really ramps up. Okay, starting off, you can see out here in northern Mississippi. Oh my gosh, 5.5. Okay, 6. We just got 6 right here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so 6 is in our extreme zone. Uh, wow. I think that there's going to be a tornado touchdown somewhere up here in northern Mississippi. 6.5. 6.5. That's up here. That's right in the middle of our extreme risk. Guys, that is scary. I am not going to lie. I'm very scared, and I'm very scared for northern Mississippi tonight. This is really, really scary. Okay? But yeah, you can see in this entire area, you see this shade of dark purple, pink, and gray. This is anywhere from 5 to 6.5 units of our significant tornado perimeter parameter. I keep getting the word messed up. It's giving me a little bit of trouble tonight, so I apologize about that. But yeah, it's really not looking good for northern Mississippi. We'll even look for sounding. We'll look at what the ingredients are going to be saying about this. We'll look at the analogs out here, and you can see that we've got a significant risk for tornadoes right in this area. Well, let me just go up here. Actually, no, I'm used to um, tropical tidbits because they show you the map. When you look at sounding, they show you the map of the general area that you clicked on for sounding. This one on Pivotal Weather doesn't. But you can see in this area of northern Mississippi, you've got a 75% chance for seeing a tornado in that exact area. I mean, that's crazy. Significant risk for seeing a tornado right in that area. 75% chance. That is, you know how high that is? When you see just on a model like a 75% risk of tornadoes, that is unreal. That is, I mean, that's mind blowing. It really is. But you've got both here. You can see a significant chance for tornadoes. You've got a supercell storm with this storm. So I'm gonna tell you guys, there is going to be a tornadic supercell in northern Mississippi tonight. And let me tell you, we're not looking just at the, just the tornado percentages. We are looking at the significant tornado probabilities. So this is not just this is significant tornadoes. And we look back, we can even look here on the scale. Okay, so the higher the number here, the higher the chance is for that type of tornado on the enhanced Fujita scale. Look at this. Non-tornado is very very low, 1%. At one, we go up to EF0. It's at a we're at a 2% chance for that. EF1, it's a little bit higher, 2%. We go to EF2. You're at little 4 unit here, and then we go to EF3, and you can see we're up to 5 out of 11, and then EF4 plus, we go to a whopping 9. Okay, so there's a 9 out of 11% chance that in this area at this hour, which would be 10, anywhere from 10 to 11 p.m. tonight in northern Mississippi, that there is a 9 out of 10% chance, 9 out of 10 chance that we're going to see a tornado over EF4 plus strength. That's it. It's going to be that tonight. I mean, I don't mean to scare you guys. I just want to make sure that you guys are ready for this and you guys understand how dangerous this actually is and how scared I am for those towns and cities that are out there in northern Mississippi tonight. It's not going to be good out there. It's not going to be good. Okay, we go back. We go to the significant hail threat for our sounding analogs. And you can see that we have 6 matches. You can see that they all add up to 83%. That is a significant chance for seeing a large hail. And we look at how large that hail would be. 3 inches. That's windshield breaking hail, and we already have we would have an 83% chance of seeing a hailstone of 3 inches or maybe even greater. But we go to the possible hazard type. We've got a tornado symbol right here. Tornado. That's telling you guys that the main threat of the day is tornadoes. Okay, so that's going to be pretty much it for that. So we'll get rid of sounding, continue through the night. You can see we'll go back right here to northern Arkansas. We're back up at 6. So maybe we'll see two areas of significant tornadoes. We could see one up here in northern Arkansas and then one up here in northern Mississippi. And now we'll go back to look at sounding in northern Arkansas. And we'll look here. Okay. And so we don't have any matches for our supercell risk, so we only have 2 loose matches out here. There's a 50% risk of seeing a tornado, so it's pretty much a half and half chance of seeing a tornado out there in northern Arkansas. That's why we call it an outbreak. Because there's multiple areas that are going to have a very, very high risk of seeing a tornado. There's not just one little area, there's many areas, and that's what we're seeing right here. So, possible hazard type, tornado. We'll look at the significant hail threat analog, and you can see you got 14 list matches. So we have a lot of data on here for significant hail. So this will tell us pretty good in northern Arkansas what we're going to get here. So we got a 79% chance for seeing hail of at least 1.75 inches. So that's big hail. That is still big hail. That's probably around 3 times the size of a quarter. That is, and that's probably about this big. So that's scary. But we'll go back to this chart of the tornado strength. We'll go up to the tornado with or the highest chance of seeing a tornado, which would be up here. And you've got a, a minimum 8%, 8 out of 10 chance for seeing an EF4 plus tornado. It's just that it's really that scary. This is what we deal with when we have a tornado outbreak. But yeah, this is really really scary. But we'll continue through the night. We get even closer to the midnight mark here, and then oh my gosh, 6.9. All right, this is a little ridiculous, guys. I mean, the northern Mississippi is gonna get hit hard by a tornado. That's just gonna be that's gonna be the fact for tonight. I'm taking a little bit too long on here with this update. I just want to get this over with here. But I want to tell you guys, I said that no man's land was around 6.5 or above. I mean 6.9 is just ridiculous. I mean look at this. I mean this is like right up here. This is we'll click for sounding one more time. I just want to look at it because of this. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So let me go back to the six. That was the 6.7. Let's go back to the 6.9. Bear with me, guys, for a second. I just want to look at this for a second. All right, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I can't find it. I just want to get to this area, back to this area that I saw 6.9 on because, all right, we'll just look at here. Let me go back up here. But we even looked at the sounding for 6.7 there or 6.6. I don't know what it was. And we saw PDS tornado. That is particularly dangerous tornado. Okay, here we go. 6.6. All right, so in northern Alabama or northern Mississippi, I think, yeah, northern Mississippi, we would have a possible hazard type of a particularly dangerous tornado. Okay, um, and we look at the supercell analogs, and you have 15 loose matches. So we have a lot of we have a lot of data on this. And if we would have 4 supercell storms to deal with out here in northern Mississippi. You've got 2 in which that are going to be significant in strength. 2 in which will be weak though, which is good. We want that number to be low. We want all storms to be weak if we will have any storms. But we look at the uh, chances for tornadoes, 73% chance. That is, I'm telling you guys, that is very, very high. Okay? We don't have any quality matches we don't have any, really, good data on this hail. But there are 4 loose matches that all show 100% chance for seeing large hail. So, I mean, this is going to be a super storm to watch. This is really not going to be good. I think that there's going to be 2 major storms that are going to roll through northern Mississippi tonight. But anyways, this we get all the way into we get into early tomorrow morning. We're still seeing that week that the tornado threat's still there as we get into tomorrow morning. But it finally gets down a little bit, and we're getting to 11 a.m. tomorrow, and we'll finally see that tornado threat die down. But I want to go back to this 1 hour. Yep. Okay, this is the hour that we're gonna have the worst. Sadly, it's gonna be the middle of the night. That's the bad thing. We have, all right, you can see here, 1 a.m. in the morning. Okay, 1 a.m. in the morning, we got the highest tornado throughout the night. That's not good. Okay, this is gonna be one of those worst setups. This is the worst setup I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. Okay, I'm not even gonna look at the Cape units just because we already know how bad this storm's gonna be. And I'm just gonna wrap up the video, guys, and just leave it at that. So, thank you so much for coming to watch. We'll see you guys next video. Stay safe tonight. It's the best thing you can do. If if you're under a tornado warning, what you do is you go to the lowest level of your house. You get into if you don't have a basement, get into a closet or the most interior room away from windows. get in like a bathtub and get blankets, get cover yourself up, get cozy out there, get mattresses, anything soft and fluffy that you can find that can protect yourself from flying debris would be best. And so you want to lie flat on your stomach and wear a helmet, sturdy pair of shoes, have some water, have your cell phone with you, and you just gotta stay in your safe spot until the storm passes. And PDS tornado warning. If you get a PDS tornado warning on your phone and you're not in your safe spot, that's a problem. You got to get there as soon as possible. And if you don't know already, a PDS tornado warning means particularly dangerous situation, which is usually only meant for tornadoes that are EF3 plus in strength. So if you get if one of you guys gets issued one of those warnings, that is the highest tornado warning that's out there. That's that's gonna be the real deal. So again, thank you so much for kind of watch. Stay safe out there. We'll try and get through the night. But as long as we can, if we can get to tomorrow morning, we're gonna be okay. But I sadly think that something bad's gonna happen out there in northern Mississippi or northern Arkansas. So thank you guys so much for coming to watch, and we'll see you guys in the next video.